Tonight we are highlighting Kate.
Thank you, Jody. And I didn't share, but I am a pediatric PA and I live in Midland, Michigan. I elected to take a journey of my own in 2018 to find myself again. And that journey led to me reclaiming my health through the health program that I now coach. But what I found was a community of real people. A lot of us realize that social media is here to stay, and it can be a blessing, but it can be a curse too, where you see everybody else's highlights and not the real stuff. The community that I was immersed into let me find healing, find encouragement, find that I could be vulnerable and share about my sugar addiction and emotional eating issues I had. And that stumbled upon an internal and external transformation that then led to a faith journey. And I was immersed into a faith community. And I started to really just find that I was attracted to people who were authentic and real and got vulnerable with me. And I started to have a vision. This was August of 2020. I had listened to one of my leaders in my health coaching organization share about how people can really find healing and thrive if they fill in gaps missing from their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. And the piece that a lot of people lack is a community. And I knew that not everybody could follow the program that I coach. Some really loved a lot of attributes, but it didn't speak to them, and that's okay. But I wanted everyone to have community. And so I had this dream to create a space as a pediatric PA where professionals could come and sprinkle some of their gifts and their knowledge and their resources in for some of the teens and young adults who were really struggling, the ones that I was mainly seeing in our office. You know, some of them had to see a counselor, but as we know, that field is oversaturated right now. There's not enough people to help. And I thought, gosh, what if we could maybe create a space where we bring in counselors, we bring in medical professionals, we bring in coaches, we bring in teachers and educators and people who just are passionate about helping the next generation thrive. And we give them a safe community where we can share stories and experiences. I've helped my children the most when I helped myself get well, and I helped myself learn emotional well-being strategies or mindfulness strategies. And I started to work on me. My job's to love my kids. My job's to meet them where they're at. My job is to encourage and support them and give them tools, but I can't fix them unless they want to be helped. We need a community for parents because I need help too. My oldest is just entering his teens. It's a whole new ball of wax. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm a PA and I'm a health coach and I'm a busy mama. And I just couldn't let this vision go. I kept talking to people about it. I asked youth pastors, I asked teachers, I asked coaches, like, hey, would you want to contribute if I built this thing? Jeff said, it's already been built, Kate. We just need to talk and plug in together. And then even better, they decided to build it with me. So now we co-lead Uniquely Yours, which is the parents community, and Uniquely You, basically a virtual university for kids to come and figure out who they were created to be. The most beautiful part is that we're learning from each other's experiences here. So these are some examples of some of the experiences that you would see in Uniquely Yours. Matt has shared one that Almost the End is a very powerful experience about his first experience with alcohol in high school and how his parents responded to that and what he learned and what his parents learned from that. I talked about the power of writing your story and how I learned just by making sense and coming to terms with some of the things in my past, how they didn't define who I am. They shaped me. And I am real passionate now about helping other people tell their own story. This is a place where you can come and share as yourself. And the most important feature of all is you have the opportunity to share anonymously. This is an example here of a young lady who was having a hard time with some drama in her middle school. You can see she posted on the right side there, she posted anonymously. All of the answers have come through anonymously too. So you have high school students, you have college students, you have adults And ultimately, we will have other middle schoolers who all offer support to the person who's asking for support. And when you share anonymously, nobody knows your age, nobody knows your gender, nobody knows your political affiliation or your sexual orientation or gender identity. If you look at this from a human to human level, we answer as humans. We don't answer with any preconceived biases of who we're talking to. And it completely takes those walls down, and we can bring ourselves into the space of connecting at just a human level. And that's what we want here. We want people to realize that no matter how old you are or any of those other things I listed, we all experience rejection, we all experience loss and pain and anxiety and fear. But a lot of us have found ways through our experiences and our stories to help others get through those same challenges. When I'm in the exam rooms with my patients, it's when I can connect through an experience that I had and get vulnerable with them. That's when their wall comes down. So, what Convene and what uniquely yours and uniquely you are going to provide is a leave behind. I will be in the office talking with this struggling teen, and I can say, let's continue this conversation. I really have some ways that I can continue to help you, but it's not going to be just me. I can't understand what it's like to have divorced parents, but I can connect you with people who can. That is the beauty of this, is I don't have to be the answer to everything. I can be the blessings connector to bring people together who can help and who want to help and who have a passion for helping kids thrive. The kids that will come in here will realize that their story adds value to the life of somebody else. And when you feel like you're seen and you're heard and your story is validated, then you feel known, which is really a great feeling. But if you can use your story to help someone else, and even just if you share it anonymously, that's still brave. And that's honestly how I would prefer most people share, because I want them not to be responded to with any biases, just human to human. And I just am really excited for the people who are raising their hands and saying that they want to help in this. It's really a movement. It's a movement toward changing social media for the good, to really bring the tough stuff to this space where we can connect through our experiences and learn from one another. That is the vision, and that's how it all came to be. I was sitting here, Todd, trying to create my own website, and it's still in like the early phases and took me days, and I didn't need to. It already existed, and I just need to plug people in. And as my mentor who's joining us, Mark Oman, said, we have the foundation for this beautiful set of communities. We need more bricklayers, and the bricklayers are the people who will lead and educate and teach more people how to open their minds and hearts to using social media in a different way. And that includes the kids. They get to be trailblazers. Really, I see it as an opportunity for them to be a part of a movement toward something really special. So I'm grateful.
So I have journals of just poetry, but I ended up sharing one on there anonymously. And because I was like, wow, some of this stuff might relate to some of the kids because I was one. So I posted this one right here, and it's Can Anyone Relate? And I just talked about, people being loud. And the coolest thing, this right here, I knew who it was, and she didn't know this was me. So I know it was able to help someone because I saw it firsthand.
That's a great point, Jody, because I thought about that. There's times that as a parent, you want to share your dirty laundry with your kid, but you don't want your kid to think that, ooh, it's okay that you did that. Yet you want to still share your lesson learned from it. So you can take that, here's what I did, not have to say it's you, and you can share your lesson learned through experiences. And that's what, when you showed those are walking through an experience, and it's using what we call adult learning theory, where you read something or you watch a video, and then it asks you a prompting question to reflect on what you learned. And then everybody gets a lesson learned. You will share yours if you're the writer of the experience, but then you get to read all of the other lessons learned.
There's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, and having that support system of people who are actually willing to say, hey, I've been there too, or I can relate, or any of those things. And now that person knows they're not going on that journey alone. And we are looking for people, good people, to kind of come alongside us and, share your gifts and share what you're passionate about. And, together we can help a whole lot more people. And that's the biggest thing. It's that collaboration piece. And the more that we work together, we're helping more people.
I
No,
was just
go
going to
ahead.
say, and when you're talking about all the different macro communities within each one, too, in uniquely you and uniquely yours, we do have plans in place to break that down even further. We have something called groups within each community. And each group will have ultimately, as we grow, a place where maybe you could go to grow in faith for Christian teens. Maybe if you are an artist and you want to talk about how you use art to work through some of your different things that you're dealing with, that's a great place for creatives to go. Maybe kids who have gone through divorce or kids dealing with chronic illness. Then we would have leaders of those groups who will then really connect with people who are there for that specific need, and they can really feel like they are speaking to the right audience in each of those groups. But it has to start somewhere, so we're going to build those out as we grow.